नाजरीन, कश्मीर लाइफ के साइंस टॉक्स सीरीज में आपका खुशामदीद। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, हम इस सीरीज में काफी दिनों से जम्मू कश्मीर के साइंटिस्ट से बात करते हैं। इनकी साइंटिस्ट्स की जो ट्राइब होती है, इनकी सारी जिंदगी, इनका सारा कैरियर या तो लाइब्रेरीज में गुजरता है, या फील्ड में इन्वेस्टिगेशन में गुजरता है, या इनकी लेबोरेटरीज में गुजरता है। और कभी इनको ये शायद टाइम नहीं मिलता, और फिर उनकी ये शख्सियत बन जाती है कि उनको लोगों को बताने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है। ये वो ट्राइब है जो कभी एक्नॉलेजमेंट सीख नहीं करती है कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं फॉर द लार्जर गुड ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी। तो आज इस सिलसिले में जो लाइफ साइंस के हवाले से आज हमने दावत दी है अमेरिका से, हमारे बहुत ही मोतबर जो एग्रीकल्चर साइंटिस्ट हैं, डॉक्टर अवतार मट्टू साहब। डॉक्टर साहब, आपका खुशामदीद, आपने हमारे लिए टाइम निकाला।
थैंक यू, शुक्रिया।
तो डॉक्टर साहब, शुरुआत हम इस बात से करेंगे कि हम 21वीं सदी में इस वक्त रह रहे हैं, तो हमारे पास सारी फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल हैं, सब कुछ है हमारे पास, लेकिन फिर भी इंसानियत जो है हंगर का मसला अभी मैनेज नहीं कर पाई। हालांकि हमारे पास जीएम फूड्स हैं, हमारे पास जेनेटिक इंटरवेंशंस के टूल्स हैं, लेकिन फिर भी पूरी दुनिया डिवाइड है कि कौन खा रहा है और कौन नहीं खा रहा है। सो व्हाट इज द स्टेटस ऑफ हंगर अक्रॉस वर्ल्ड, स्पेशली in wake of the progress we made in agricultural sciences?
It is improving. आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ठीक हो रहा है। Even Africa is now getting food. The problem was कि जो genetic engineering ने काम किया, which was excellent, and but people did not want to go for it because लोग बोलते थे ये पता नहीं क्या नया चीज बनाया लोगों ने। So I went to Philippines and Bangladesh, around the world, to tell people कि भाई ये अच्छी चीज है। एक खाना जो है, एक तो स्वाद का ठीक है, and it's also increased in nutrition. So after 10-20 years now, वो accept हो गया। Bangladesh and Philippines is already using these commodities. तो उससे क्या होगा कि अफ्रीका में भी अभी आ रहा है ये। They have also accepted genetic modification, genetic engineering. तो इसलिए क्या हो रहा है कि slowly, I hope sooner than later, कि hunger will be less and less.
नाजरीन, मैंने डिलिबरेटली साहब के बारे में ज्यादा नहीं बताया। बेसिकली डॉक्टर साहब जो हैं, डॉक्टर मट्टू, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स के सस्टेनेबल एग्रीकल्चरल सिस्टम्स लेबोरेटरी जो है उसमें काम करते हैं, जहां से बहुत सारी एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन होती है एग्रीकल्चर के हवाले से। तो इस वक्त मैं ज्यादा तफसील में नहीं जाऊंगा, मैं डॉक्टर साहब को ही मौका दे दूंगा। वो अपने लर्निंग कर्व के हवाले से, अपने सफर के हवाले से, कश्मीर से लेकर अमेरिका तक, और फिर वहां इतनी बड़ी पोजीशन पे पहुंचना, तो इसमें इस लर्निंग कर्व में बहुत सारे जलेबी मोड़ आए होंगे जो लद्दाख में हमारे यहाँ हैं, बहुत सारे कर्व्स आए होंगे, ब्लाइंड कर्व्स भी हो सकती है। तो डॉक्टर साहब, थोड़ा हमारे नाजरीन को बताएं कि ये जो आपकी लर्निंग कर्व रही, उसके संगमील क्या रहे, माइलस्टोन्स क्या रहे?
मैं तो जोगी लंकर रहनावारी श्रीनगर का बंदा हूँ, उधर पैदा हुआ था। My grandfather was alive. We were a big family. Mattoo Khandan is well known in Kashmir and especially in Ranawari. तो उधर से मैंने I studied in school there, within उसी मोहल्ले में, and then I went to head school for the final in my studies. उधर से मैं एसपी कॉलेज गया था, उधर पढ़ा था मैं उधर था, तो उधर से एसपी कॉलेज में पढ़ा था, और उसके बाद मैं गया जी बड़ौदा यूनिवर्सिटी में, क्योंकि कश्मीर के में मुझे तो दाखिला नहीं दिया गया फॉर वट एवर रीजंस, बट मैं बड़ौदा यूनिवर्सिटी में गया। उधर बायोकेमिस्ट्री में मैंने मास्टर्स किया, उसके बाद मैंने पीएचडी उधर ही किया इन द सेम यूनिवर्सिटी। तो फिर उधर मैं पढ़ाता था, बड़ौदा यूनिवर्सिटी में मैं पढ़ाता था। Then I went to Australia. I was in Adelaide. I was invited for 2 years to study there. उधर से थोड़ा सा मुझे फॉरेन एक्सपोजर हो गया। उधर से आई केम टू अमेरिका फॉर 1 year। तो इधर मैं जब देखा कि मैं तो कश्मीर छोड़िए बड़ौदा में ये काम बहुत कर सकता हूँ, तो और मैं पूरा हिंदुस्तानी था, तो मैं वापस चला गया बड़ौदा। जब उधर गया, बट देर स्लोली मैंने देखा कि उधर दे वर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन giving me more what I wanted to desire or deserve. So I went to all around India कि मुझे कहीं अच्छा सा जॉब मिले, कहीं नहीं मिला, क्योंकि मेरा जो पोर्टफोलियो था that was too much for people to stand. उनको अच्छा नहीं लगा कि ये बंदा आएगा, पता नहीं ये क्या, I don't know what they were thinking. तो मैंने फिर I had some friends in Israel. I had never gone to Israel. मगर ये था मेरे दिमाग में कि Israelis were doing very good science. तो मैंने एक दोस्त को लिखा, भाई उधर कुछ हो सकता है। तो मैं they write immediately, somebody saw my CV, say I want this guy. ये है कहाँ? तो उन्होंने बोला वो तो इंडिया में है। तो so he wrote to me a letter, Dr. Mattoo, would like to have you here. तो आप ये मैं भेज रहा हूँ, उसको just sign कीजिए। After half a year, they sent me a notice that you have been awarded a fellowship to come to Israel. अभी बात थी कि मेरा तो जॉब था, उस खत्म करना था। तो my parents agreed कि कुछ हो नहीं रहा था, तो उन्होंने कहा आप जाइए। तो that was my first thing कि मैंने हिंदुस्तान को काट डाला अपने for research wise in a way. In Israel, I was working with people who were outstanding, both outstanding. उधर तो 24 hours काम कर रहा हूँ, रात भर काम करते करते। तो मैं I got lucky कि I discovered something which was not known for a long time in biology. तो उससे उन्होंने बोला आप इधर ही बैठिए। मैंने कहा नहीं जी नहीं, I liked it for studies, मगर वो जो उधर लैंग्वेज थी कुछ और था। मैंने कहा ये अच्छी बात नहीं। तो I decided at that time कि मैं जाऊं अमेरिका। तो अमेरिका में जिससे पहले मैं प्रोफेसर के साथ काम करता था, उन्होंने बोला यू आर वेलकम एनी टाइम। तो मैं वापस आ गया in this country, and उसके बाद job position, and by that time I became a citizen. Doing a citizen बना था, I became a professor, rather doctor, whatever you call it, in the same enterprise where I have been now over 40 years. And I became a research leader in 2 different labs. I did all genetic engineering thing, and then I traveled around the world talking about genetic engineering. Even India, in India, I went to breadth and length, and this was all done by the Americans from here. वो मेरी हिस्ट्री है जी।
डॉक्टर साहब जो आपने पीएचडी में रिसर्च किया, तो उसमें आपने किस बात पर रिसर्च किया, एंड व्हाट वर द टेक अवेज फ्रॉम दैट, एंड देन वी विल मूव टू व्हाट यू डिड इन तलबी लेटर।
मैंने बड़ौदा में मैंगो पर काम किया। आई स्टडीड कि मैंगो जब बनता है उसका वो कैसे इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं, उसका प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड इसका वो खाने का मोल टेस्ट। तो वो किया, एंड आई डिड लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, बायोकेमिस्ट्री एंड बायोलॉजी इन मैंगो। तो उसके बाद आई वेंट इनटू एनिमल रिसर्च इन इजराइल। I worked on killing rats to find out certain things in the brain. Brain में कैसे rats work out करते हैं वो किया। But then when I came to America, I went back to the I didn't like to cut rats so much, so I went back into biology and agriculture. So इधर मैं तो in all aspects of biology I worked in here for a long time now.
So basically ये जो आपकी रिसर्च रही आपके पीएचडी में या बाद में जो आपने रिसर्च किया जिसको हम पोस्टडॉक ही समझेंगे, लेकिन उसमें व्हाट वर द टेकअवेज दैट एक्चुअली मार्केट टुक, मतलब मार्केट ने वो कॉपी करके इंप्लीमेंट किया, या वी वॉकड द रिसर्च वॉकड द टॉक कि उस पे फॉलो अप हो गया और कोई नई चीज आ गई?
Most of my work got followed up because we discovered first one thing, big major discovery, other than working on mango and understanding the fruit ripening and क्या होता है, जो काम मैंने इजराइल में किया, we discovered a total new pathway of genetics. उसमें क्या हुआ? That was a basic research, basic concept, जो then it got converted into real utilization. Okay, so either जो हमने किया, we were trying to engineer fruits and vegetables in this country, in America, and I was one of the first ones to do biotechnology. So we use biotechnological methodologies to improve the varieties. So I made a tomato that can stay on your desk for 40 days and nothing will happen. It has a long shelf life. So it became a big discovery. And after that, a lot of people started working in this arena. And you see, one of those times, I also went to Kashmir University on a US function. They had invited me, so I gave a talk on that work, what we are doing, how there we can improvise the agriculture. But I found people were not very interested. I was there for 10 days. There was a nice time I had, but they were in a different mode at that time. It was many years ago. So I think the Kashmir has a lot of agriculture, lot of good agriculture, lot of possibilities. मगर उधर क्या है, जो लीडरशिप है ना, एकेडमिक लीडरशिप, वो थोड़ा सा अपने में ही है, not out into the field to help. To some extent, I don't know, maybe there are other people, I don't know much, but I think India, Kashmir agriculture can become much better with new commodities, but you have to address the question using genetic engineering. जो modification में बोल रहा हूँ आपको, that is very nice, क्योंकि उससे क्या होता है, एक तो productivity आती है, उसका जो base है for the health purposes, it is better, and it is everlasting, lasting for a long time. I told you, you can keep these things. You don't need to have them. You harvest them and keep them around. So there's a lot of possibilities that can be done.
So basically, just मैं आपको update दे दूं agriculture का, जो maybe because you are involved in the bigger picture. So Kashmir is very small space, especially agriculture के हवाले से. But just to brief you that in the last 20-30 years, the contribution of primary sector, which is essentially the agriculture sector, is gradually falling. I think it is somewhere around 16 or 17% in comparison to when you studied in SP College, when it would have been more than 50%. So there are a lot of issues involved in that, primarily because it's a small place, land holdings are too thin, too small, and then paddy, it's a single crop economy. So drought issues are there, flood issues are there. Of late, there is a lot of urbanization that takes most of the land resource, and most of the agriculture land in certain areas has been converted into cash crops like horticulture, mostly apple and cherry and strawberry. So that is there. But you are right that there are immense possibilities of doing agriculture in Kashmir. But before moving to that subject, Dr. Saab, I just want to know that the most of the genetic interventions that we have using the newer technologies, the focus is on GM foods. There is a lot of debate at the same time in life sciences that how man should intervene and interrupt the natural process apart from managing diseases. तो साइंस की बातें हैं और साइंसदान बेहतर जानते हैं. But where you find yourself in this debate, ethical, non-ethical, GM foods and all that?
There was in biology and in agriculture, there was nothing that was set in stone. We all work, the human being slowly always found ways to improvise. Okay, right from the first person who could walk and run. Okay, तब से ये चल रहा है. So there is nothing like this is genetic engineering. I am not interested in. Genetic engineering is just one part of it. But the idea is to utilize it the best way you can. And I think in Kashmir, you can really utilize it because it tells you how to go about it. And this was I'm telling you now, I was a sort of a spokesman for this thing. And both, Bangladesh, which had nothing in food stuff, it is becoming a big commodity. It sends stuff around the world. Same thing, Philippines. They accepted these things after it took a long time. I can tell you, it took about 20 years. But they accepted and they are leaders and India is not. Surprisingly, India has gone again backwards in this case, I think. And there is a need. If you want to improvise and make more produce, you have to go into the newer modules, newer modifications. And there's nothing wrong with them. Let me tell you for sure. There is nothing wrong in these commodities. They are good, they are beneficial, they are everlasting, and they're good for you. And also for the people who want to sell them, who want to have their produce. The Kashmir can become a big thing for whole India to market things. You understand? They say all the other products from Kashmir are very revered, the rest of the world. The food should be one of the number one cases that should be modified in a way that it feeds everybody. And also when I say feeds, I mean feed good food, nutritious food. Jisse tandrusti aayegi for everybody, and that is lacking for some reason. I don't know why. And Kashmir can do it. Kashmiris are intelligent people. You know that, right? So they can do any of these things, but they should not go into this by ye theek nahi hai, ye pata nahi, ye khuda ne ye banaya, hum ye kar rahe hain, ya kisi ne ye banaya, wo Angrez ye bolta hai. I don't think we should go into that scenario.
No, Dr. Saab, personally, I believe that hunger doesn't recognize this debate. मतलब अगर आपको hunger को address करना है, then this debate is not an issue. It is then an elitist kind of a thing. So I do personally believe that, and I don't think there is a debate on that. I was just talking in the global perspective, not a local perspective.
No, I was using Kashmir as a model, but in a global perspective, that is why I used examples. I'm giving examples of other countries that have adopted this thing, and why they have adopted, because there is a good thing. It's a plus point. That's the point. And I think what in Kashmir, you have to go plus point way, then becoming negative in utilizing technologies. Because technology in every aspect, forget the food technology. आप देखिए दुनिया में everything has changed because of technology, right? So technology is the medium for everything. So here we're talking of agriculture, and the technology even gets more involved in agriculture, and this should be adopted. That's all I'm saying.
Dr. Saab, even though आप यहाँ से बहुत दूर हैं, एक दूसरे मुल्क में हैं, काफी टाइम लगता है हवाई जहाज को भी यहाँ से वहां तक पहुंचने में, but I'm sure that you are not completely disconnected from Kashmir. But you know the problems of agriculture in Kashmir. Since I personally believe that some of the countries that have done immensely in agriculture is Israel and US. So, but are the proper, better models and modules that can be copied in Kashmir?
Definitely, they can be. By the way, I was just 3 weeks ago, I was in Kashmir. I was in Kashmir, actually. I love Kashmir. It is my motherland, okay? I went there, even though many people told me it is, the pata nahi kya hoga, aapka ye hoga. Maine kaha, nobody is going to bother me. And I met my 2 classmates who were Muslims, who I love, and they love me. I found them, I had dinner with them, I enjoyed with them. I had a great time in Kashmir, okay? So Kashmir can improvise, definitely can. Kashmiris are intelligent people, no matter what, Okay, agar pada bhi nahi hoga, they are still intelligent. So there is you have the commodity, the human commodity is there. And now you have to find the experimental commodity who can help them. For that, I think Kashmir should, I don't know how one can do it, get scientists like me and other Indians or other Kashmiris or worldwide researchers to come there, to discuss for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month, to address this issue globally within Kashmir, in Kashmir, and slowly get it adopted within Kashmir. So it will improvise slowly. It may take little time, but it will happen. Why not now, then later? Agar hai, abhi hai.
Yes,
Kal kisne jana?
that is correct. Dr. Sahab, basically, you know it that Jammu and Kashmir, in fact, Kashmir is the main apple basket of India. We produce more than 70% of the apple produce. And just आपको तो वैसे पता होगी, लेकिन मैं आपको फिर भी बता दूं, in last few years we are getting into the high density. We were very conservative in adopting these new breeds and species, varieties of European varieties. But now it is happening at a longer scale, at a larger scale. But one thing I wanted to ask you, we are still fighting this scab. Since America is also a major apple producer and in fact apple exporter to India at one point of time in a year. So what are the lessons that Jammu and Kashmir, especially the Sukast K, can take on scab and managing it better?
What you have to do, you have to have a cell, a scientific cell in Kashmir. I know there is a fact in near the I don't know where I don't know the actual name, but there are you have experimental stations that the government-based experimental stations. You have to improvise them. You have to get them more acquainted in the modern day technologies, and also utilize this to how to improvise. And they can always get outside experts to come and help them. It can be done, but you have to open Kashmir to those people from outside. You have to invite them. You have to make them feel one, and they will provide everything you want. With whoever wants to develop these things, and of course, the government has to get something into it in terms of following it up, helping the people. That's important, but it can be done. It is not everybody in the world today wants to help the other people in a way. Mostly. And it can be done. Kashmir can become, they say it's a heaven on earth, it can make it double heaven on earth. Basically on commodities and making the people themselves able to get whatever they want and improvise from the technologies that are available.
डॉक्टर साहब, इस बहुत ही इम्प्रेसिव, बहुत ही इंफॉर्मेटिव और बहुत ही वारम कन्वर्सेशन को कंक्लूड करने से पहले मैं एक सवाल आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा, which may not be completely scientific, but maybe it has some kind of scientific explanation. आप कश्मीर का सैफरान ले लें और उसको कंपेयर करें ईरानी सैफरान के साथ या ये जो यूरोप का सैफरान है. कश्मीरी सैफरान हैज बेटर इंग्रेडिएंट्स, इम्प्रूव टेस्ट्स. आप यहाँ की चिल्ली ले लें तो आप बेंगलोर की चिल्ली से बेहतर पाएंगे, और इट इज कंपेरेबल इन टेस्ट. जो इसका जो मजा है वो तो is cells are same, species are same, varieties are same. So how can we interpret this difference? And yes, if there is difference in plants, can humans exhibit the same difference?
Kashmir, as I told you, has weather for it. There is what you need to produce is present in Kashmir. And the model you just gave us, that is the best model. And that is tenable model. So, but that model has to be improvised. What I'm saying, कि आपने बनाया वो है, खुदा ने दिया हमको, किसने दिया, लोगों ने बनाया, काम किया लोगों ने. They spent a lot of time there. I saw those farms recently when I was there, excellent work, और बहुत काम चल रहा है. But you have to improvise, you have to help those people to get it better. कि machinery कई नई आ रही है, वो लानी है. What is the other thing where they can improvise that not only they are the best, they can be bestest for a long time and you can be productive. What if the farmer will be productive? The people around working in those things will be productive. That is the thing it is. It's, you know, वो पहले हम बोलते थे यह हमसे निंद्र आमद जी क्या करे. So निंद्र राय, I hope the निंद्र छनमाई, because Kashmir has become big now, and I think accordingly the people, you have to get the right people to help these people, and I would suggest that the Kashmiri government or Kashmiri people should get interact with other people around the world and get that information and utilize what is good for Kashmir and make the best out of it. And it can be done. Aajkal to the world is very easy to help other people, and it would be a nice thing for Kashmir to become a model. I would love that.
Dr. Sahab, इस वक्त, unless it is not privileged information, you are working on what? आपका research इस वक्त क्या है?
आजकल हमारा research is कि ये जो आपने बोला with terms of the fruits and other things, but the most commodities, most of even in the world, जो ये stress होता है, से बारिश ज्यादा हो गई और crop खत्म हो रहा है, या बारिश ही नहीं है, पानी नहीं है. So there are what they do is कि जो commodity है that gets bad. So we're trying to find out कि वो तो system है, उसका क्या करेंगे आप? वो the atmosphere है, okay? How can we change those fruits, those commodities in the, what do you call the there's a biotic stress, there is some other thing. So find out mechanisms why those stresses can be taken care of. So you can, that's what we are trying to find out, what defines processes कि हम इसको बंद कर सकते हैं. So those are the processes we are doing these days.
The next time you come you fly to Srinagar, we'll be meeting. But then I will be asking you one question that, yes, it is correct that we have problems in pre-harvest, we have problems in post-harvest, and we do have problems in properly managing the resource for better markets. Like हमारे यहाँ problem ये हो रही है कि we have early crops like cherry होती है, या उससे पहले strawberry होती है. We are not able to properly market it, and well before it reaches the market, it gets waste. But that is one aspect of the discrepancies and the deficits we have. But next time when we meet, I will be definitely asking you, Kashmir is emerging a crucible for climatic change. We do have serious questions about how to survive the agricultural operations in coming days. So next time we meet, Dr. Saab, we'll be discussing about how climate change impacts the crop patterns in Kashmir and how we can sustain that. Dr. Saab, it was very, very impressive and very informative and very warming conversation, and I hope to have another one as soon as possible.
Certainly, same here. I will be giving whatever I can to Kashmir anytime and to the whole commodity. Thank you for inviting me to speak to you, and it's my pleasure knowing you.
Thank you, sir. So nice of you. You are making us proud.
No, I am proud of Kashmir first.
Thank you.
But God has been kind. God has been kind.
In kind, yes.
Thank
you. Sir,
and
so of you.
Adab.